Hey, welcome to HiWEB-Interactive show number 6 for April 10th, 2008. Airing weekly, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, available on live.hiweb.net. Hot topics this week include Adobe's new media player. Another hot topic this week is researchers create a malicious controlling router website. The iPhone 3G baseband chip is revealed. Windows 7 still slated for release in 2010. An open source Class 5 free switch coming out, or release candidate 1 released. Also, a flawed security lets Sprint accounts be easily hijacked. YouTubers, if you're viewing this, go to live.hiweb.net and to see the entire show or past shows. To move further into these a little bit, Adobe releases media player that's based on Flash and FLV. It's cross-platform compliant, runs on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, set up to be their new competitive stance against services like Hulu, Joust, and that sort of thing. It can also allow you to stream your own media like QuickTime or Windows Media Player does. However, the Adobe Media Player is quite limited on the types of media that it can actually play. They've also signed up with content to be released from Blip.tv, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, as well as the Food Network, MTV. I've also been watching Techzilla on there and a few other media networks. So they've got quite a bit of work to do, but it looks like they sure have a good start on a very nice media player that has been released. You can get that at adobe.com/products/media player. Number 2 was a researcher creates a malicious website router, or website controlling, a researcher creates a malicious router controlling website. A researcher has developed a method of a DNS attack utilizing typical D-Link or Linksys routers that can allow hackers to gain command of your gear. Winner-takes-all maneuver, which it is called, when a DNS rebinding attack functions by putting some JavaScript into play that fools your browser into altering your router's configuration, thus letting the operator remotely administer your device. Bottom line is here is make sure that you've changed your default password on your router. Let all your friends and associates know that they need to do the same. There's JavaScript running around out there that will actually take control of your router if you have not changed your default password. And that's the pure bottom line of that vulnerability. Is it looks for routers that have not been changed from their default. Hot story number 3 was the iPhone 3G baseband chip has been reviewed. Some folks at a company called Zip Phone have spotted code in the new iPhone beta that relates or mentions the S Gold 3. This would refer to their new chip replacing the S Gold 2, which powers the current iPhone. The S Gold 3 chip is capable of doing 7.2 megabit HSDPA data connection, as well as the same video acceleration and media playback features that the iPhone has had historically. It also supports up to a 5 megapixel camera and 2 times speed MMC and SD memory expansion, as well as they're saying that the speed is going to remain the same, the speed of the processor, but the 3G iPhone will be slated to come out in the 8 gig and 16 gigabyte models, as well as it's going to be a little bit thinner from the previous version. Hot story number 3 is Windows 7 still slated for release in 2010. So stay tuned for that. Microsoft's doing a lot of work on this Windows platform to try to get it released as soon as possible. The Windows kernel that they're developing is a minimalistic variation of the Windows kernel known as MinWin. It's being developed for use in Windows 7. However, this is a self-contained kernel, reducing the disk footprint and the memory usage. Also, Windows 7 will have some new touch features and lots of gadget integration, as well as pin and unpin Windows support and the ability to take your Internet Explorer settings and back them up to the Windows Live account, and a lot more. So stay tuned for Windows 7 coming out in 2010. It's been seen running around in the beta arena already. Hot story number 3 is an open source class 5 switch called FreeSwitch. Open source projects have revolutionized operating system, web browsers, web servers, so why not carrier switches? The FreeSwitch open source project released its release candidate 1 just a few days ago, and by early accounts the software rocks. One company said that they replaced 10 asterisk servers with one single FreeSwitch server. This is a high-speed call switching engine that telcos and businesses can use to switch calls, build media gateways, as well as a media server or IVR systems. IVR is an interactive voice response systems like voicemail or voice command systems. Commercial software switches a lot of those same features, but they run about tens of thousands of dollars. FreeSwitch is available via free download at www.freeswitch.org. That's FREESWITCH.org. Check that out. FreeSwitch supports many advanced SIP features. FreeSwitch supports both wide and narrowband codecs, including it would be a great or an ideal solution to bridge legacy devices into the future. It runs natively on its own, as well as it can run on standalone operating systems such as Windows, Mac OS X, Linux, FreeBSD, Solaris, and runs in both 32-bit and 64-bit mode. Hot story number 6 is flawed security lets Sprint accounts get easily hijacked. So with a little bit of social engineering, someone found that they could easily hijack a Sprint's user account as long as they knew their cell phone number and a smidge of information about them and had half a brain. Once inside, they had total access to the user's account where they could change their billing address, order a bunch of cell phones to be sent to a drop location, leave the victim paying the bill, and this would also be, I guess, a stalker's wet dream is what they're saying. Add GPS to their cell phone, and now you could track them through a website without their knowledge. So imagine someone with malicious intent taking advantage of this. After this was reportedly told to Sprint 2 months ago, but they were ignored. So a guy just decided to test it again a few days ago, and what do you know, open sesame, he was in with just a little bit of information and some minor electronic social engineering. Most of the information he used was available through public records. So it's kind of ridiculous that anyone would ever design a system so poorly. So when you think about choosing your telephony service, make sure you look at systems like that. It's hard to know, but I tell you, just that being said, I don't think I'd ever sign up for Sprint if they have such an oversight like that. But at any rate, those are my hot news stories for this week. Continue to watch the rest of the show to see viewer questions, as well as a tech tip and some other hot technology to keep an eye on. I had a video recording issue this week, so I'm recording this as a separate segment, but I'd like anyone to just watch this segment and then tune into the rest of my past shows for more information on what we have to offer here at HiWEB-Interactive. And definitely check us out again in the future. Again, this is HiWEB-Interactive at live.hiweb.net, and we look forward to seeing you again. Got a jaboo.